Knicks family, what's poppin'? It's your boy. It's been a couple of days since I seen you, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm glad that I'm here. And tonight, or today, this afternoon, I'm going to break down this New York Knicks versus the Washington Wizards. And what could turn out to be, and I don't want to mention the P word, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm going to go ahead and mention it just for the fun of it, just for the kicks. Or just to get a couple of people riled up. But this could end up being a playoff battle one of these days. I don't know. I'm just talking, ladies and gentlemen. Just talking. Just trying to get some people riled up in here. Let's go.
That's the G.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do a game preview, and that's not the screen that I want on. So I'm going to get back to this screen right here. There we go. This is the screen that I want on the show, that I want to show. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel right now, ladies and gentlemen, and ring that notification bell. You'll be notified anytime I go live, drop a video, or post in my community section. All right, so make sure you ring that notification bell right now. All right. And remember, later on tonight, about 10:30, I'm going to be doing Knicks Weekly. And Knicks Weekly is going to be exclusively on Sportscaster. You will get a notification here on YouTube to remind you that Knicks Weekly is coming on. So make sure you join me for Knicks Weekly, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So let's go ahead and get to this thing and break it down. Talk about the Knicks versus the Wizards. Going to take place tomorrow night at Madison Square Garden, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get rocking. The interim head coach for the New York Knicks is Mike Miller. And interim is the definite word because we don't know what's going to happen with with Leon Rose coming in to be the president. You hear rumors about about Jeff Van Gundy, about Thibodeau and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Right now, they're just rumors and who Leon Rose could look to hire. We'll see as time goes on. But for now, Mike Miller is the interim head coach, and I really do hope that he gets a fair shake because he's doing a good job with these guys. Doing a really good job with these guys. All right, the projected starters for the New York Knicks is Elfrid Payton, R.J. Barrett, Reggie Bullock, Julius Randle, and Taj Gibson. All right, the injury report for the Knicks, Alonzo Trier out with an illness. He's a game-time decision. Mo Harkless, he's out with an illness. He's also a game-time decision. Now, you can question whether or not these guys really are suffering illnesses or if they're working on a buyout. I did read earlier today that Alonzo Trier could be a candidate for a buyout from the New York Knicks. I would highly disagree with doing that. I wouldn't understand it. Alonzo Trier is a young player, 23 years old, I think. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a lot of ability. What would be the purpose in buying him out? I don't get it. Unless he wants to be bought out, unless he does not like what's happening with the Knicks. Remember, Alonzo Trier is now represented by Rich Paul from Clutch. So we'll see what happens there. Mo Harkless, according to Mark Berman of the Post, he also may consider a buyout by the end of February. Right? If this is going to happen, it needs to happen before March 1st, ladies and gentlemen. March 1st is the deadline for players who are bought out to be able to participate on a playoff team. So it's something to watch for. Wayne Ellington, Alonzo Trier, Mo Harkless. I really want to see Mo Harkless playing in Knicks uniform, see what he could bring to the team. We'll see. I don't know. But anyway, that's the injury report for the Knicks. You see the starters. And for the Washington Wizards, Scott Brooks is the head coach. The starters, Ish Smith, Bradley Beal, Isaac Bonga, Rui Hachimura, Ian Mahinmi. Now, on their injury list, you got John Wall with an Achilles. He's been out for the season. And Thomas Bryant with a foot injury. He'll be out until at least tomorrow, so I would think he probably won't play tomorrow night. You never know. Could surprise us. Could play. Could play. All right, so that right there, ladies and gentlemen, that is the breakdown of the starting lineup. So the projected starter lineups for the two teams. Okay, we'll see. It could change anytime between now and game time tomorrow, but that's what we're looking at right now. Okay, the team comparison. Let's compare these two teams for the season. This is overall for the entire season, and we will break down and look at the last 5 games, but this is for the entire season. All right, the Knicks are 17-37. The Washington Wizards are 18-33. Right now, the Washington Wizards are about 2.5 games or so out of the 8th spot, which is currently being held by the Orlando Magic. The Knicks are like 2.5 or 3 games behind the Washington Wizards. Right? Both teams have been playing well as of late. We're going to get to that. But let's take a look at what the season has looked like for both of these teams. Right now, the Knicks are on a 1-game losing streak. All right, they average 104.9 points per game. They give up 111.7 points per game. They're shooting 44.1% from the field. They're shooting 33.7% from the arc, from beyond the arc. They grab 46.2 rebounds per game and they're averaging 21.7 assists and 14.2 turnovers. Their offensive rating is 105.2. That's 28th in the league. And their defensive rating is 111.9. That's 22nd in the league. As for the Washington Wizards, they're 18-33 on the season. They're on a 1-game losing streak, or they lost their last game, just like the Knicks. The Wizards do play tonight. Tonight's the first game of a back-to-back, and then tomorrow against the Knicks at Madison Square Garden is the second game of the back-to-back. All right? So the Knicks do have a slight advantage there. You want to call that an advantage. They have a slight advantage there. Right? So, the Washington Wizards, ladies and gentlemen, they average 115.5 points per game. This is on the season now. They give up 120.4 points per game. They shoot 46.2% from the field, and they shoot 36.5% from 3. They average 42.5 rebounds per game. They average 25.5 assists and 13.8 turnovers per game. Their offensive rating is 111.2. That's 13th in the league. And their defensive rating is 116. That's 30th in the league. They are not a good defensive team overall for the season. The last 5 games is a little bit different, though. And the last 5 games is a little bit different. But for the season, they're not a good defensive team. They've been a decent offensive team. They're a team that can light it up. I mean, they had a couple of games ago, they lost like 150 to 140 something or whatever it was. They're a team that will allow you to score. My fear is that the Knicks aren't going to be able to score with them. Now, the Knicks did score 135 points against the Atlanta Hawks the other night. They gave up 140 points against the Atlanta Hawks the other night. The Knicks have had some nights where it's been high scoring, and they've been able to score. It's not the norm for the Knicks. But let's check out the last 5 games. Over the last 5 games, ladies and gentlemen, the Knicks are 4-1. The Washington Wizards are 3-2. So both teams are playing well. And if you take it to the last 10 games, both teams are 5-5 over the last 10. But we're going to look at we're going to look at the last 5 games because, this is what's trending right now for these two teams. The Knicks average over the last 5 games 113.2 points per game. Obviously, they had the game versus Atlanta where they scored 135 points or whatever it was. All right, so, that maybe skews it just a little bit. Their opponents are averaging 110.8 points per game. Again, Atlanta scored 140 points on the Knicks. They have been holding teams to under 100 points. And they've been doing a good job there. Atlanta scored 140. What are you going to do? The Knicks, they're shooting 47.6% from the field over the last 5 games. They're shooting 34.4% from 3. They're grabbing 49 rebounds per game. They're averaging 26.6 assists per game, which is good. It's really good because the Knicks for the season are averaging like 21 assists per game, but they've really picked it up in that area, especially with Marcus Morris being gone. The ball is moving. It's a more generous offense. it's a more team-oriented offense without Marcus Morris there. And I'm not blaming things on Marcus Morris, not at all. I'm just pointing out the fact of the way that the Knicks have played since Marcus Morris hasn't been on the team, right? And since he hasn't been on the team, everything's been predicated on ball movement. Still, Julius Randle sometimes holds the ball a little bit too long instead of getting it out quicker. He needs to look to make those decisions quicker to get the ball out or to get the ball to the open player. All right, but the Knicks are moving the ball much better recently. Their offensive rating over the last 5 games is 110.5. That's 23rd in the league. And their defensive rating is 108.6. That's 7th in the league. It's dropped from being 4th in the league. At one point, over the last 5 games, the Knicks were 4th in the league. But obviously, they played the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks scored 140 points. Both teams shot the ball well in that game. But, it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. Right now, the Knicks' defensive rating is 108.6. That's 7th in the league over the last 5 games, which is good, ladies and gentlemen. If you take that to the last 10 games, the Knicks' defensive rating is 10th in the league. So the Knicks are trending in the right direction defensively. We need them to trend in the right direction offensively. And to continue work on closing these games out. That's something that they've been really trying to do. I felt in the last game versus the Hawks, when they went into overtime, the Knicks had to battle back, right? They got down double digits. They battled back. In the last 3 minutes, they were able to, really push and send the game into overtime. And then in overtime, I felt that I really felt that Mike Miller made a big mistake in overtime. I felt that in overtime, Mike Miller, instead of just, down the stretch of that overtime with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, the Knicks were up 8 points. Right? They were up 8 points. And I felt like Mike Miller he started playing not to lose instead of playing to win the game. Now, I understand wasting the clock. I get it. Right? You're going to waste out the clock. You still only got 24 seconds to shoot the ball, and the other team's going to get it. You want to waste the clock out some. Right? Use those minutes. Let those minutes tick. I understand that. Let the seconds tick. But when you get an open shot or an open look at the basket, after you spread the floor out, because see, the Knicks spread the floor out, and then the Hawks were coming with a double team towards the ball handler. When the Knicks would swing the ball, a few times they had open looks at the basket when they could have taken it inside, probably got fouled because the Hawks weren't going to be afraid to foul at that point. They weren't going to worry about fouling. Right? They were down 7, 8 points with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Instead, the Knicks played keep away for too long. That one play they played keep away too long. Wayne Ellington had that drive to the basket. He could have dipped it underneath to Mitch. He could have went up with it. Instead, he kicked it back out to the 3-point line where Julius Randle was. And then Julius Randle drove to the basket, and I believe he got blocked. Or whatever it was. Right? Well, Wayne Ellington was right inside. He could have just taken it up. And I feel like the Knicks played keep away a little bit. Not a little bit. They played keep away. I feel like that really kind of cost us the game there. But it's neither here nor there. We learn from it and we grow, right? So now we got the Wizards, another team that could score. Another team that could score. So we're going to have to be on it defensively, ladies and gentlemen. All right, over the last 5 games, the Washington Wizards playing well. They're also playing well. They're 3-2 over the last 5 games. They're averaging 113.8 points per game. They give up 112.6 points per game. Their field goal percentage is 45.1. They're shooting 45.1% from the field. They're shooting 35.8% from 3. And they're averaging 46.4 rebounds per game. All right, they average 25.2 assists per game and 12.2 turnovers per game. This is over the last 5 games, folks. All right, the offensive rating is 111.1. That's 18th in the league. And their defensive rating is 109.7. That's 10th in the league. So these two teams are playing, they're kind of evenly matched coming into this game, with the way that both teams are trending. Kind of evenly matched. So we'll see how it all plays out. We'll see how it plays out. There's definitely some things that we're going to have to look for and watch for in this game. All right, the first thing we're going to do is talk about a key matchup, though. Key matchup. one that we're going to be looking at. Bradley Beal, R.J. Barrett, and you're probably going to see Reggie Bullock defending Bradley Beal as well. Bradley Beal, who was snubbed for an all-star spot, is having a really, really good year. Signed that extension, and he's making some good money from signing. I mean, he's making some good money, but he's earning it. Bradley Beal, 6'3", 207 pounds, is shooting guard. He's averaging 29.1 points per game, 4.5 rebounds per game, 6.3 assists per game, and 1 steal per game. He's shooting 45.2% from the field, and he's shooting 32.3% from 3. I believe Bradley Beal is an all-star guard. He didn't make the all-star team because the Wizards are not a good team, but I do believe that Bradley Beal is an all-star guard, and the Knicks are going to have to deal with Bradley Beal. And I didn't mean to do that on purpose. It just came out that way. The Knicks are going to have to deal with Bradley Beal. And who's got to deal with him to start the game? R.J. Barrett, ladies and gentlemen. All right, R.J. Barrett's played against him before. It's not going to be easy, but, you know, he's got some experience against him now. Now, we do know that R.J. Barrett may still be dealing with some of the effects from his sprained ankle, but I think he's okay. R.J. Barrett is 6'6", 214 pounds. He's a guard/forward. He's averaging 13.6 points per game, 5.1 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game, and 1.4 steals per game. He shoots 39% from the field and 32.7% from 3. Listen, these aren't bad numbers for a rookie, man. I don't care what anybody says. Not bad numbers for a rookie. I'm looking forward to seeing R.J. Barrett really start to excel down the stretch. He's going to have more touches. Now, since he's come back from his injury, you know, he hasn't gotten the same minutes, which is understandable. He's not getting the 30 minutes because, you know, his ankle is probably still kind of sore. Once his ankle is fully healed, we'll see R.J. Barrett get those minutes again, I think. Right? And, you know, he's going to have the ball in his hands more because Marcus Morris is gone, and we'll see if he can capitalize on it. I want to see him have a good stretch to end the season. That's what I want to see from R.J. Barrett, a good stretch. It's going to be a good matchup. It's going to test his ankle. Definitely going to test his ankle, so I'm pretty sure you'll see Reggie Bullock and R.J. Barrett switch on and off, you know, on Bradley Beal. Other people to watch out for, Davis Bertans. He's playing well for the Washington Wizards. You also got, you know, we're going to talk a little bit about Ish Smith, but you also got Rui Hachimura, another rookie. He's averaging 13.9 points per game for the Washington Wizards. All right, so we got to watch out for Rui Hachimura. He's good, man. I like Rui Hachimura. He's a good ball player. He's definitely a good ball player. But my X factor for this game, I do have an X factor. All right, my X factor for this game, that we've got a guy we really got to watch out for, Moritz Wagner. This guy, man, we got to watch out for this guy. We cannot let this guy get loose on us. Because he can definitely score the ball. And let me take this off the screen. Take me off the screen. There you go. There you go. That looks better. This guy, man, he's an X factor to me. All right, he's definitely the X factor. He's shooting 59.1% from the field. He's shooting 37.7% from 3. All right, this guy, he can light it up if he gets going. You know what I mean? And I don't want to see him getting loose from the 3-point line against us. All right, I really don't want to see him getting loose from the 3-point line against us. You know, we have a habit of letting teams get loose from that 3-point line, and he can light it up. He will light it up. Like I said, he's almost 40% from the 3-point line, and he shoots 59.1% from the field. To me, this is their X factor. You know, who do we have that can match what he does on the floor? I guess Wayne Ellington maybe. And Wayne Ellington could be the X factor for us because Wayne Ellington has definitely been cooking the last week. We're going to talk about that on Knicks Weekly later on tonight, 10:30, ladies and gentlemen. Knicks Weekly. We're going to talk about Wayne Ellington and what the Knicks should do with Wayne Ellington. We'll get into it. But he could be an X factor for us. But for the Washington Wizards, Wagner is definitely an X factor and the guy we got to watch out for because, he can light it up from the field. He can definitely light it up from the field. And I don't want to see this guy get off and get loose against us. So, when he's in the game, we got to have our eyes on him. We know what he can do on the floor. We got to have our eyes on him. That's the one thing we haven't been good doing, ladies and gentlemen. Right? Is, when we know there's a guy that can give it to us from the three-point line, we don't cue in on that guy. You know what I'm saying? We kind of still play off of them. We got to cue in on guys like that. Now, Mike Miller's been better defensively. He's been better at planning defensively and strategizing defensively. So I do trust that Mike Miller will, have these guys ready to go, have these guys with excellent scouting reports. That's the one thing that we know, or that I've read about Mike Miller, is that his scouting reports are excellent. Has really good scouting reports. And, we're going to, that's part of the reason why the Knicks have been playing better. Having those scouting reports out there. It's important. It's important in the NBA. Maybe not on other levels, not as important, but in the NBA, it is important. Let's talk about some keys to the game. All right. And I know Mike Miller's not checking out my keys to the game. I felt like Fizdale was checking out the keys to the game. I felt like Fizdale, and I hate to go back to Fizz, but I felt like Fizdale when he was coaching was checking out what all the Knicks content creators were talking about and what all the fans were saying and making decisions based on that. I really did. He was in tune to it. But anyway, keys to the game. We got to get back to playing top 10 defense. Like I said, we let the Atlanta Hawks drop 140 points on us, ladies and gentlemen. 140. All right, we've been playing top 10 defense over the last 10 games. We got to get back to it tonight or tomorrow night because the Washington Wizards, they can score. They can score it up. We can't let them just get out and get loose on us. All right, we got to play some defense. Got to play some defense. I get back to playing that top 10 defense like we've been playing over the last 2-3 weeks. All right, we got to defend against the three ball. I just talked about Moritz Wagner and how he can knock down the three. Obviously, Bradley Beal can get loose from three. They got guys that can shoot it. All right, on the season, they're like 36%, which is about average, but they can get hot, and teams get hot against the Knicks from the three-point line. So we really got to defend against that three ball. Let's not let them get loose. Not let them run amok at the Garden from the three-point line. Keep Ish Smith out the paint. That's going to help us to defend that three-point line because Ish Smith is fast, one of the fastest guards in the league, and he's small. But he's one of the fastest guards in the league. We can't let this guy get in the paint and then kick it out to wide-open three-point shooters. We're going to need Elfrid Payton to play good defense. We're going to need Frank Ntilikina, and it can be hard for Frank Ntilikina guarding Ish Smith because Ish Smith is so small. Frank's really got to get down low to guard Ish Smith because he's so small, which makes it difficult for just about everybody in the league that's guarding him. We're going to need Elfrid. We're going to need Frank, maybe even some of DSJ to help slow down Ish Smith and keep him out the paint. No heroes. No heroes. I should have had a comma in there. No heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play team basketball. All right? There's no heroes on this team. We had Marcus Morris, right? I get it. And Marcus Morris was, the main scorer on the team and all of that. But we have no heroes right now. It's just team play. That's all we need. And I don't know what just happened to everything that was on the screen. I'm about to get back to it right now. Let's get to it. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. No heroes. There we go. No heroes, ladies and gentlemen. Play team ball offensively. Move the basketball. We've been averaging 26 assists the last 5 games. All right, we got to keep that up. Keep that moving. Now, if someone is going to shoot the ball, let's ride the hot hand. Whoever's hot. Let's not force it to one person. Okay? I know, we got, Alfred Payton and Julius Randle. They run the screen and roll and looking for Julius Randle. Let's not force us there. If Julius Randle is hot, okay, get him the ball. If Damian Dotson plays and he's hot, get him the ball. If Kevin Knox, for whatever reason, gets hot, give him the ball. If Frank gets hot, give him the ball. Anybody, ride the hot hand. That's how this team has to play. Whoever's knocking down shots for a length of time, let that person knock down shots. Find ways to get him the ball off of ball movement, from ball movement. Then that person goes cold, find the next hot hand. That's Alfred Payton's job. That's his job to figure out who's the hot person on the floor. And sometimes it's his job to figure out who hasn't touched the ball, who needs to get a shot. We need him thinking like this. All right, so no heroes, play team ball offensively, but ride the hot hand. Then spacing. All right, good spacing on the floor. We need good spacing between, you heard Mark bring up RJ Barrett and Julius Randle. The spacing is never going to be really good between those two because neither one of those guys is shooting the ball well from the three-point line. All right, so if you got Julius Randle and RJ Barrett running the screen and roll together, that spacing is not going to go well. It may not go well. From time to time it will, but it may not go well. The reason why it works with Alfred Payton is because Alfred Payton is crafty in the way that he passes the ball. He's got better court vision than RJ Barrett. So, spacing, ladies and gentlemen, we got to have good spacing on the floor if we want to be successful in this game. Wayne Ellington's provided some spacing. Reggie Bullock's provided some spacing. Damian Dotson, he can provide some spacing. He was a DNP against the Hawks, but he can provide some spacing for us. Believe it or not, Alonzo Trier can provide some spacing, but I'm not even going to go there. We'll talk about that in Knicks Weekly tonight. You know what I'm saying? I got my man Isaiah here in the video chat. See what Isaiah is talking about. And, and I did it again, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't mean to do that, but there we go. Make this look a little bit better for you. Good. Let me get to my man Isaiah. He's at work on his coffee break or whatever. Isaiah, what's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, son?
I'm good. Talk to me about this game, bro. Talk to me about this game.
Yep. So the game is tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow night.
Yep. So the game tomorrow night. I would like to see Kenny Wooten play because I would definitely want to pack the paint. Well, not pack the paint, but I would want to make sure that Ish Smith doesn't get into the paint because, as we all know, that's his specialty, breaking down the defense and getting into the paint. I would like to see Kenny Wooten and Mitch play. I think that would be a good double enforcers. I agree with you what you said about Frank. Frank has to get low with Smith. Frank struggles with small guards, which a lot of people do in the league. I do like when RJ guards Bradley Beal. He does a really good job with him. Well, good enough, and especially since he's a rookie. So I like the way he tees Bradley Beal. I agree with you with the no hero ball. Listen, man, I think this is the best opportunity to play more team ball and to not do a lot of isolations. And if you can, try to keep Alfred Payton and Randle away from each other. Maybe have one play with a second unit, one play with the first unit because it's just is spacing. I like to space the floor with these guys. And, we got to watch out for Gary Trent and stuff? Is that the dude's name that plays with the Wizards?
Yeah. I think Gary Trent. Yep.
Yeah, you got Payton. You got Payton's son. You got Gary Payton's son that plays for them, I think, too. Those were the guys that was killing us last time, man.
I think Payton's son is, he plays for the G League squad. I don't know if he's fully on the team or not right now, but
we gotta.
He's a baller. He plays, man. I like that kid.
Yeah,
he
man.
plays hard.
Definitely. What'd you say?
No, I said he plays hard. He's just, he's a hard-working kid, plays good defense. Yeah, I like Gary Payton Jr.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. I like Gary. Listen, I like those workers, man. Those
Oh, Gary
kids that
Payton is second.
you know, it
Actually, he
wasn't
is on
handed.
the
It wasn't.
squad. I think he is on the squad, so we might see him out there playing some.
Yeah.
Might be a
So
two-way
definitely we got
player
to
or
just
something.
do that and just guard the guards and everything. But there's I mean I want to say a lot more, but I'm going to say that for weekly tonight because Steve Stout said some very interesting things on First Take that I want to talk about later on tonight. I don't know. I don't know if you peep what he said during First Take, but it was very interesting.
Yeah. James Sanchez, he wasn't talking about Gary Trent. He was talking about Gary Payton II, not Gary Trent from Portland. We meant Gary Payton II. So, I mean, I see Sherman George say Gary Payton Jr. Come on, y'all. I mean, listen, he's a good defender. He's a good
Man,
defender. No, we
wait,
did
hold on.
not
So
mean
did I
Gary
not watch
Trent.
the
We
game
meant,
when we got killed by
huh?
those dudes?
Yeah, I mean, Gary Payton Jr., Gary Payton II is a very good defender, man. And he hurt us the last time we played him. I don't know how much playing time he's going to get now, but I'm just saying, you know. I mean, the guy,
Man,
listen, my
those
X
guys
factor
killed
for the
us, man, and
game,
we had our squad.
listen, my X factor for the game is Wagner. Wagner is the guy that, you know, he scares me because of his three-point shooting, shoots 57% from the field. You know, he scares me. You know, he scares me. You know, talk about Moritz Wagner. You know, obviously, you know, Bradley Beal, you know, was gonna do his thing. You know what I mean? Now I do just see in the chat, and thank you for chiming in on the chat. Mars Jetson said Dotson is questionable, Robinson is questionable, Trey is questionable, and Harkless is questionable for tomorrow's game. So we'll see. I
Oh
didn't
man,
see that.
I keep forgetting we got Mo Heartless, man. I keep forgetting that.
Yeah, we're waiting. We're waiting to see him play. We'll see if he's ever gonna play or if he's gonna get bought out.
I would like to see him play, man. I would like to see him play. He's only 26, and I heard he's a good defender, man. And,
Yeah.
and Lord knows the Knicks need as much defense as we can get. So you know, hopefully he plays. If not, you know, hey, we still got that first round pick, which. I mean, I know you're gonna. I know you got a whole lot of things, man.
Yeah. We'll see.
Tonight's gonna be good, man. Because that Steve Stout thing, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, Sam. It got me a little worried about what the Knicks are planning on doing, but we'll talk more about that.
Yeah, we'll talk
later
about
tonight.
it, man. Mars, you said Wagner is still hurt. No, Wagner played against Memphis. I didn't see him on the injury report. He played against Memphis. Against Memphis, Wagner had, and this was just a couple days ago, unless he got hurt during that Memphis game. Wagner had against the Memphis Grizzlies. He played 24 minutes. He had 19 points. He was 7 for 11 from the field. And he was 1 for 3 from the three-point line. He also had 9 rebounds. Looking at their scouting report, their injury report, I did not see Wagner on the injury report. So we'll see. We'll see if he's out there. Kevin, what's going on, man?
Hey, how you feeling, Sim?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling pretty good. Just, you know, hoping that we can, hoping the Knicks can get back on a winning track.
And I think we can. Yeah, that was a tough loss on Sunday. We had it won in the first overtime. We just let it slip away. With that being said, I love the way they were playing during this 4-game winning streak. It was really, really promising. It was really, really showing what patience shows, and we just came up short. I mean, it was a back-to-back. I mean, I don't even know if we haven't won a back-to-back in a long time. So if we would have won that, that would have been really, really good for our confidence. But I think our confidence is still up anyway, and looking forward to tomorrow. And in regards to what Isaiah said about the first take, I was just watching it. I didn't see the whole thing. I wanted to hear what Max Kellerman had to say because you know he's always a hater right now. So I wanted to see what he had to say.
Yeah.
But once I finish with this, I'm gonna check it out. But regards to Harkless, everyone's talking about him being, wanting to be bought out. I hope he's not because yeah, we want to see the kids play. We want to see the kids play. But in order to have a successful team, you need vets. And if he's one of these defensive vets that puts his time in on the defensive end and scores points for us, I want him. So, and for tomorrow night, it'd be great to throw him against Bradley Beal as well if he's healthy. Now I know he's been sick for the past for this road trip, but I want to see him out there. And
yeah, I want to see him out there too, man. I hope that they don't buy him out. As far as Harkless says that he wants to play for the Knicks. That's been a dream of his to play for the Knicks. A lot of people say that, but obviously he's from New York, so I think there could be some weight to it. I just want to see if he gets. I want him to get the chance.
Exactly. I mean that. When they say they want to play for New York, I know it sounds like like a cliche, but some people you can tell that they actually want to play for us. Like I believe Morris want to play for us, and I believe this guy too. So I just wanted to get him out there and get him into the fire, whether it's I want to say taking the place of Knox. I'm not I'm not giving up on Knox, and I don't think anybody else should be giving up on Knox as well. I mean, he's just a young. This is the second year, so he just needs those defensive principles, which he's been improving on. Now it's time to get his offensive confidence up. I just want to see him do well. And maybe tomorrow will be a great opportunity for him. So, we'll see. But and some of the guys in the chat, they got to really look at the games at times, because the players that you were talking about on Washington, those guys, we were supposed to beat them the first game, and they blew us out. So luckily we got the second one. But they really got to look at these players that we're playing up against, man.
Yeah, man. And Washington is back a little bit stronger now. Rui Hachimura is back. Thomas Bryant is still out, but they're a little bit stronger now, and they're playing good basketball too. Nate, what do you think, man?
Yeah, just real quick on Harkless, man. I hope that we don't buy him out. I actually want to see if he even can fit with the Knicks what we're doing. I mean, we know we traded Morris, and we lost some defense at the wing position. I know that right now Reggie Bullock is Reggie Bullock playing the 3 right now? Is that right?
Is he? Yeah, he's playing the 3 right now. RJ Barrett's at the 2. Reggie Bullock's at the 3 right now.
Yeah. So I'd like to see Harkless. See if he could take that position from Reggie Bullock. I mean, no disrespect to Reggie Bullock, but Reggie Bullock to me is more of a bench player. I like him coming off the bench because of his shooting. If they are going to buy out Harkless, then you know what? I put Knox in that starting lineup, man. I got to see what Knox is doing, man. I mean, we've seen him coming off the bench, and he's played at times good and sometimes bad. But I mean, we got to let him sink or swim, man. We got to put him in the starting lineup again. I think we got to give more minutes. We got to see what we got in this 20-year-old. I don't know if you playing him 10 to 15 minutes or whatever he's playing right now. I'd like to see him more in the starting lineup to gel with the starting crew. But we'll see. As far as tonight, they play tonight, right?
No, they play tomorrow night.
Oh, tomorrow, okay. Yeah, man, the Wizards are playing a lot better, man. Beal's playing really good. He got snubbed on the All-Star. Probably should have been an All-Star, but the record was bad, so I get it. Hachimura's back.
Yeah.
They can score, man. I mean, like I said, if the Knicks don't play defense, I mean, we're going to lose, because the one thing the Wizards can do and do very well is score the ball. So,
Yeah, we'll see. And, I'm looking at Kareem in the chat. He's saying that we should, not give Harkless a chance. I disagree with you, Kareem. I think,
why even trade for him if you're not going to give him a chance?
We want to build. Well, they traded for him so that they could get that first round draft pick. But I feel like Harkless is a defensive guy. He may not be, a starting 3-man that's going to be, the type of starting 3-man that's going to give you, 15, 16, 17, 18 points or anything like that. He may not be that guy, but he's a defensive guy. If we want to build this team's identity on defense, he's a good guy that you can plug in there at that 3 spot.
Sam,
when
not
you play
everybody in the
against
starting
good.
lineup needs to score. Not everybody in the starting lineup needs to score 20 points a game. You need
Right.
glue guys. You need guys that play defense.
I get you.
And Harkless has played on the Clippers, started with the Clippers. I mean,
Yeah,
if he's going
he
to start on the
was.
Clippers, he can play on. He sure as hell can play on the Knicks.
Right. He was a starter with the Clippers. He started 30-something games with the Clippers this season. But a lot of that was due to the injuries, the injuries to Kawhi Leonard, injuries to Paul George, and so he was filling in those spots
starting
there.
lineup. That's what I'm trying to say.
Nah, he was, but he was filling in those spots there. But either way, I would because he's a really good defender. You know what I'm saying? If you want to build your team, if you want to build an identity of defense, you need players like that. Obviously, you need some players that can score the basketball too, because we're not a good scoring team. We're one of the worst scoring teams in the league. But I wouldn't be looking at Mo Harkless as the kind of guy that we're going to be asking to come in and score. You're paying him $11 million this year. The Knicks actually got a break in that deal, salary cap wise. Next year, if you decided to keep him on, you know what I'm saying? If you decided to keep him on next year, you wouldn't be paying him $11 million. He might be getting $5 million or something like that, right? So, and I think I would like to see the way he looks next to RJ Barrett. He's not a guy that needs the ball or shoots the ball a lot. I think he shoots the ball like 5 times a game. Reggie Bullock, he shoots the ball, right? He shoots the ball a lot at that 3 spot. I like to see the way he looks next to RJ Barrett. You know what I mean? So now you got 2 guys in that lineup that's going to be, can score the ball. Maybe you probably like to have more than that can score the ball in the starting lineup, though. But you can kind of focus on RJ Barrett and Julius Randle and then see what Harkless looks like. He doesn't even have to come in and start. I just like to see where he can come in and where he can help us out defensively. You know what I'm saying?
And he can guard multiple positions too, just like Barrett. So, I mean, those are valuable pieces.
I mean, I know what you're saying, Kareem. You say he'll take minutes from another player. He'll probably take minutes from a player that doesn't deserve those minutes, a player that deserves to be in the G League. So, throw Knox down in the G League, let Harkless get some minutes and see if it can, see if he has anything.
Hey, Sim,
you know what I mean?
Can you
see
hear
if
me?
he has anything.
Can you hear me, Sim?
Yep.
Hey, how do you feel about Dotson being DNP'd over Ellington?
I don't know, man. I don't know what the thought is right there with that right now. I have no idea what's going on with it. He
was playing really well, and they kind of shut him down when he's playing well.
Yeah, they did. Hey, let me get to a couple phone calls, man. All right. Caller, you on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
What's up, Sim?
What's going on, man?
I want to talk about who you think our next coach should be. I think it should be Mike Miller. He should, he should play the Mark Jackson role. Develop our young core. Look at the last 3 championships. Dwayne Casey, he got fired. He developed the young core, got fired. They brought in a coach to take him to the next level. Steve Kerr took over Mark Jackson. Ty Lue took over David Blatt. Mike Miller should be our developmental guy. In a couple of years, we sign Jeff Van Gundy.
Why not sign Jeff Van Gundy now and keep Mike Miller on as one of Jeff Van Gundy's assistants?
I think Miller.
The only reason why I asked that question is because, according to Mark Berman, Jeff Van Gundy is, maybe on the short list of candidates, to be interviewed. That's the reason why I asked that question.
Oh, because Jeff Van Gundy, I don't think he's in for a rebuilding team. He's a coach to take the team to the championship for a contending team. I don't really think he would want to do a rebuilding team.
Okay. I don't know. I understand what you're saying. I understand. I get it. I understand what you're saying. Listen, Jeff Van Gundy is going to be a hard-nosed type of guy. But he may also be exactly what the kids need too. You know what I'm saying? They may need someone. I get what you're saying, but the kids may need someone who's going to be very strict and very structured and, not take any bull. You know what I mean? One of the reasons that Scott Perry and Steve Mills didn't interview Jeff Van Gundy back in, when they were hiring David Fisdale, is because they wanted to try to get someone who so-called related to the kids. Well, David Fisdale related too much to the kids. You know what I'm saying? And he related too much to the kids and gave them too much leeway. He said that himself when he was interviewed the other day. Van Gundy could be a guy that is not afraid to hold these kids accountable. We'll see, man. I don't know. We'll see. Ralph Petito says Jeff Van Gundy and Tibbs, but I'm with the Knicks going after Jerry Stackhouse. Okay, I'm not opposed to Jerry Stackhouse at all. All
right,
but hey,
thank you for answering, my man.
Appreciate you, bro. Have a good one. Hey, Sim, that guy sounded like Steve Mills. Has he called since Mills got fired? Oh yeah, he was just in the chat. Kevin, he's the one that sounded like Steve Mills. Caller, you're on live with Nothing But Knicks. What's popping?
Hey, what's up? Sam, it's Kareem.
Kareem, what's good with you, bro?
I'm chilling, man. How you doing today?
Good, man. I'm good. I'm good. How you doing today?
Can't complain, man. Doing well, surviving.
All right.
I just wanted to bring some clarity to what I was saying. I don't have a problem with Mo Harkless playing. Honestly, I don't watch him. I haven't watched him play much in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But if he can be a 3-and-D guy for us, definitely. And I think his playing time may be determined on, our progress this season. So, I don't know if you noticed, but we're actually, I believe, 5 spots out the A spot.
Yeah, we are.
In the East.
We are.
I think him playing will be determined on, because I really believe that the Knicks believe that they can chase that A spot. And it's not unrealistic to believe that based on how many games we are behind in that A spot.
Yeah.
And as far as Jeff Van Gundy, I question, I know people say, they want, if you bring him, it'll be like a nostalgic thing. He was with us before. But does Jeff Van Gundy understand today's NBA?
Now,
do you think he can coach in today's NBA?
That's the question. That's definitely the question about Jeff Van Gundy. And, I don't know. The last time he coached, he was coaching Tracy McGrady and...
Yeah, on the Rockets, yep.
And big dude.
Yao
Ming, right? So you still kind of had that classic big guy in the post and then wing player that can score. He has coached with Team USA, right?
Yeah.
So, he's been coaching with Team USA, so maybe he can understand the game a little bit there. Today's game a little bit there. I don't know. It's a good question. Good question.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, okay, I don't know if I heard the caller correctly, so I don't want to misinterpret what he said, but based on what I think I heard, he was saying, I believe he said that we should keep Mike Miller, which I do want to keep Mike Miller. I believe that he should get a shot. But as you know, he has us playing top 10 defense in the league, right?
Yeah.
So Van Gundy is a defensive-minded coach. He was, even with the Knicks, he didn't really have great offensive schemes. And so it wouldn't make sense to have 2 defensive guys. If we're going to keep Mike Miller, because I don't even think Mike Miller's floor spacing is not even that bad. I just think he needs somebody, if we're going to keep him, somebody that can come in and really, expand upon what's already been done by Mike Miller offensively. What do you think about that?
Now, the thing about Mike Miller is we haven't even really seen, we're only seeing bits and pieces. We haven't really seen what would happen if he had a training camp. Right?
Yeah.
You know, we haven't even seen that. You know, what it could really be like. So, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's I don't know.
Yeah. No, because I just honestly think, because, you know, it's like you can see, like, he can draw up, because, like, I honestly believe that, you know, going forward in that coaching spot, and just the coaching staff, period, we need a strong balance of people that specialize in offense and people that specialize in defense. Like, we really need that equilibrium, you know, especially when you're not playing with a team that has one or more superstars and you got to share the pie. You know, you got to move that ball around. You know, so
right.
I you know, if anything, no matter who we get, I just want that balance, man. You know, we're
right.
not weak on one side, and, you know, of the court, and that's costing us games for years to come.
Nah, definitely. I agree with you. You know, that's been the thing for years, right? You know, we're strong on one side, but weak on the other side. It's mostly been weak on the defensive side. Right now, we're strong. Well, at least the last couple of weeks, we've been strong on the defensive side, but we can't get anything going on the offensive side.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely, man. You know, I know, but I feel if we could do that, you know, and what do you know much about Harkless? Because I really haven't. I remember when he was on Portland, I believe.
Right.
But I don't know much about him, you know. But we need shooters, because once they take that paint away, we struggle.
Yeah, he shoots about 47% from the field, and I think he shoots like 37% from three this season. Now he's a career 32% shooter.
What I said.
Yeah, he's a career 32% shooter from three, but this year he's shooting 37%.
Okay.
You know, of course, that's what having, you know, Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to kind of take away any attention from him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You start taking better shots when that happens.
Right. Yeah. Now, with the Knicks, who knows? Who knows what it looks like with the Knicks? But he's a really good, 20%. Rugged defender, though. What'd you say?
No, I said 28% from the field, 20% from three.
Right. Right. You can see that all the way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and I do agree with what you said about Knox. He really needs to. He's like, Knox is really showing this year how raw he is.
Yeah, man.
So I think a stint in the G League may help him. And I would try to bring this dude up and see what he's been doing, Iggy, because I heard he's getting better. Again, he's getting more efficient.
Now, you know, he's probably playing with more confidence than Knox, but we'd have to see what his defense looks like, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What his defense looks like in the league, in the NBA. So.
Oh, no, definitely, without a doubt. But what I noticed about him in the summer league, and I was saying is, even though he's not like overly athletic, he has go-to moves offensively, and that's why he can score.
Right.
You know, like Knox really does not have a skill set of moves and counters for those moves. And that's what he needs to work on, because with his length and size, he's going to kill once he learns how to do these things. You know, he's a very long dude. So, you know, he just needs to work on somebody with that, man. You know, I would advise him to work with maybe like a retired Hall of Fame or vet, and, you know, really start working on it now. Don't wait too long. Because that, you know, he can be out the NBA if he waits too long. Like, that's how the league is now. He'll be out 2 to 3 years.
Yeah, that's definitely how the league is now. There's no doubt about that. Hey, Kareem, I appreciate you, man.
Bottles to being in the YMCA playing.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Kareem, I'm gonna let you go, man, because I gotta get ready to get to my basketball game. So I'm gonna let you
All
rock,
right,
man.
definitely, Sam. I appreciate the call, man. Good luck, everybody. Like, subscribe, and I appreciate you having me on.
Definitely, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Good luck with that game, man.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we play tonight. We play the number 1 team in our conference, so we'll see if we can, so we'll see what we can do tonight. You know what I mean? But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is the game preview, and I'm gonna let these guys get a last minute, get some last words in about tonight's game. All right, and and then we gonna rock from there. I do want to show you Kareem brought up the playoffs. So let's take a look. Right now, the New York Knicks are in the 13th spot. They're 17-37, and they are 6 games behind the Orlando Magic. Right? Do you consider that a playoff race? I don't know if you consider it a playoff race or not. Right now, they're 6 games behind the Orlando Magic. They are 2.5 games behind the Washington Wizards. They win this game right here, then they're 1.5 games behind the Washington Wizards. Right? They jump into that group of people who have 19 wins. The Knicks have 8. Oh, the Knicks had 17 wins. Right? So if they win tonight, they can get up to 18 wins. They would tie the Washington Wizards. Right? The Bulls or someone would maybe move up. Who knows how it works out. Then they'd need another win to get into that 19 win with that group that has 19 wins. Long shot for sure, but hey, at least it gives us something to look at. You know what I'm saying? It gives us something to look at. Some people can dream about it. All right? Some people can dream about it. Let these guys get a couple last words in, man, and then I'm up out of here. Isaiah, I'm going to let you get your last word in. All right?
Hey, Sam.
Go ahead, man. Get your last words in, man, then I'm jumping out.
Listen, man, good luck tonight. Shout out to Lil Sis and your team. I know y'all going to win. Y'all going to play hard. And y'all going to win, man. I don't care what. I don't care how you going to do it. Y'all going to win.
I hope so. Playing a good team. They beat us by 21 last game.
You know what that means, though, right?
What does that mean?
You got to beat them by 21.
Well, if we want to be in first place, we got to beat them by 22.
I like that, man.
We want to be in first place, we got to beat them by 22. So it's not going to be an easy feat, but it's not impossible.
Yeah, man, you got this, though, man. Good luck to you and Little Sis. Y'all know where y'all is.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
All right, man.
All right, man.
See you tonight.
All right. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you guys for being here. All right, I'm going to get up out of here. That was the Knicks versus Washington Wizards game preview. A couple mistakes in there, with the screen switching and stuff like that. I do that from time to time, but I appreciate you guys for being here, taking time out your day, taking the time out of work to listen in. All right, listen, I'm heading out. I'm heading to my game. I appreciate everybody who's wishing me luck and everything. We'll see if we can get us a victory tonight, and then hopefully the Knicks will get a victory tomorrow night. All right. King Kenton, yes, Mike Miller has the 7th or 8th best record in the East since he's become the head coach. Yeah, he definitely has, man. Who knows what would have happened if he'd been the head coach from the beginning, right? I don't know. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out of here. I appreciate you guys for joining in with me, and I'm gonna get bouncing so I can do the things I got to do, man. Be peaceful. Tonight, 10:30. Catch me on Knicks Weekly tonight at 10:30. Again, it's going to be exclusively on Sportscaster, but you will get a notification here on YouTube. You'll get a notification, and then have a link for you to go over to Sportscaster, all right? A lot of stuff to talk about. We'll talk about Steve Stout. We're going to talk about everything that happened during the week. Last week, we're going to talk about the games. We're going to talk about the trade deadline. A lot of stuff. We're just going to kind of sum up last week and move us on into this week, man. So I'm out of here, ladies and gentlemen. I will catch you later on tonight on Sportscaster. Peace.